And then we thought, what if we sold eyewear online and in stores? So we did that. And now we have stores in neighborhoods all over. There you can chat with friendly opticians and get eye exams from top-notch doctors. Now, no matter where you go, we get your eyes covered. It's true.
All right, so there's some new messaging from Democrats, and it's calling Republicans weird. We're hearing more and more of it in recent weeks. Of course, has shifted the attack against former President Trump and J.D. Vance from threats to democracy to just weird.
These are weird people on the other side. They want to take books away. They want to be in your exam room.
We're using this fake living room to talk to you about a super weird idea from J.D. Vance.
We can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird fight.
He's clearly caught on with their party. Last week, the Harris campaign and the Democrat governors used the phrasing in posts on X. Outnumbered co-host Kayleigh McEnany is here to weigh in. I don't know. Is this effective? I mean, Kayleigh, thank you so much for joining us. This was the View ladies explaining why Republicans are weird for attacking Kamala Harris.
So on the other side, you've got these weird men because they're weird. And you know what? Don't complain that we're calling you weird because you've attacked her on her dating history. You have called her a DEI hire. You said everything she's done is because of her gender and her skin color. You've called her all sorts of names. So I think we're being really kind and gracious by just calling you weird.
Your thoughts, Kayleigh?
Yeah, I love footnotes on what Anna Navarro said. I'm someone who believes in facts, figures, and data, and I'm not sure Trump has said any of those things. So I don't know what she's reading, some blog somewhere, but she needs to get her facts right. Look, I think they must have poll tested this. They must have focus group tested this in some way, shape, or form, and I think it's clearly designed to appeal to Gen Z, a group that Kamala Harris appears quite keen on trying to win. It's why she has TikTok messages out there. She's doing videos there. She joined TikTok just a few days ago. So maybe there's something in the data that this appeals to Gen Z. But if I were on the Trump-Vance campaign, I would turn it around and say, well, you call weird. Many Americans call common sense. Washington Post KFF poll last year showed 77% of people don't think you should be talking about trans issues in kindergarten through third grade education. These are winning common.
Being weird, creepy, and controlling. So J.D. Vance has now responded to these weird allegations. He did so during a pull-aside with our own Madison Allworth. This was yesterday in Minnesota. Watch.
Doesn't hurt my feelings. Look, the price of admission, meaning the price of getting to serve the people of this country, is the Democrats are going to attack us with everything that they have. I think it's an honor.
And now there's been a series of tweets from Vance and Don Jr. and others doing this. This is the Vance tweet. J.D. Vance is weird with this video attached, Kayleigh.
And my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
She, her. Mine too.
And Don Jr. also with a very similar tweet. J.D. Vance is weird. Team Kamala Harris. Is this just giving them, Republicans, an opportunity to come right back at her with things like that?
I think it is. Look, those last two are leaning into cultural issues, which can favor Republicans. You know, I mentioned that poll. I just go back and look at it. Washington Post last year. I mean, the vast majority of Americans do not believe biological men should be competing in women's sports. So when messaged the right way, I do think you can flip this around. But the sign hanging out at the campaign headquarters should be policy, policy, policy. Democrats, clearly this is what they have. You're hearing it from Hillary Clinton, you just played it. Kamala Harris is leaning into it. Every Democrat, Tim Walz, a potential VP candidate. Well, policy, policy, policy. Our own Fox News poll shows Trump with a lead on the issue of immigration by 30 points. Trump with a lead on the issue of the economy by 80 points in key swing states. So policy, policy, policy. Go say weird. We'll go back to policy. That is a formula for victory.
Really interesting. As Jason Miller from the Trump campaign tweets this, Democrats know they have a real problem with Kamala Harris's weirdness, especially as Harris struggles to find the next gear. Op-eds don't just pop up organically with the attachment opinion. Kamala Harris is often mocked. Speaking style is the strongest tool in her arsenal. To your point, when they put policy on the record with Kamala Harris and her track record as vice president. She seems to run away from that so far in her candidacy, but she will be tested on things like the economy and immigration. Real quick final thought, Kaylee.
Yeah, that's right. And I mentioned this in January. I think Kamala Harris went to media training. She speaks very differently now than she did 3 years ago. So one thing I would say is playing some of the comments of her verbal slippages from earlier in the term, maybe setting a low bar for her to hop over in a potential debate. So go to policy. There's ample activity there. Focus on the big P word, policy.
Always great to talk to you, Kaylee. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you on.
Thank you.
Can't stop
Sarah
laughing.
Foxy's alert from northwest England, where police now say 2 children are dead and 9 people injured in a stabbing at a dance club. Greg Palka is tracking this for us. He's live at our London bureau. Greg?
John, a horrendous criminal act in the northwest of England, not far from Liverpool on the coast here. We are now learning, we just heard a press conference from the local police there, that 2 children have died in this stabbing attack, that 9 are injured, and of those, 6 critically injured, as well as 2 adults critically injured as well. It turns out, according to the police, that a 17-year-old man walked in with a knife to a community center. They were having a party during the day, a Taylor Swift dance festival for the young children. And then he started stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. People say that for each child they had maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 stab wounds that were visible, blood everywhere. Parents were with these children, and they were trying to protect the children, and that's how some of them got injured as well. Again, this is stabbing. This is not a shooting. Stabbing accounts for something like 40% of the lethal incidents, criminal acts in this country, and that's what happened today. Prime Minister Starmer has reacted to this, and he's called it absolutely horrendous and deeply shocking. Of course, the police are investigating this thoroughly. They say they don't yet have a motive for this. They are saying, however, they are not treating this as terror. They are not looking at this as a terror attack, but they are looking at this as an absolutely horrible incident, as are the local residents. Southport is the town. It's on the coast, and it's a suburban town of Liverpool, and it's near the shoreline, near the coast, and so it's a bit of a summer getaway place as well, and very calm and very peaceful at most times. In fact, one resident is quoted as saying, this kind of stuff might happen, not to this extent, but might happen in a place like London or Manchester, some of the big cities, but in a suburban area, not seen like this at all. There were 13 ambulances brought to the scene, including Liverpool. The UK is looking at this with great shock right now and trying to sort it all out. Back to you, John.
Just terrible. Greg Palka for us in London. Greg, thank you. Sandra?
So many neighbors being quoted in local reports. This just never happens here. We'll have more on that coming up. Meanwhile, 2 of Kamala Harris's top choices for running mate are set to rally voters in Pennsylvania. Who will join her on the top of the ticket?
Plus, lawmakers pushing forward with their investigation into the Trump assassination attempt. We just found out who was on the new House task force investigating. One of those members, Congressman Mike Waltz of Florida, joins us coming up next.
Given all the breakdowns that went on with this security plan and the lack of preparation that went into this thing, this event should never have taken place.
From pep in their step to shine in their coats, when people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's just smarter, healthier pet food. It's amazing what real food can do.
When I grow up, I want to be an actor.
So why don't you act like a good sister and get me some more buffalo wings?
On second thought, I want to be a director. Let's try seeing you. Go get your
Can we get some more lemon pepperoni in this scene?
Ooh, and honey teriyaki too. Have your people, call my people.
I'd like to take a moment to address my fellow veterans.
because I know so many of you have served our country honorably. One of the benefits that we as a country give you as a veteran is the eligibility for a VA loan for up to 100% of your home's value. If you need cash for your family, call New Day USA. With automatic authority from the VA, we can say yes when banks say no. Give us a call.
Call 1-844-383-1541.
Pat and Brian Gary, and today we're talking about the biggest misconception there is about replacement windows. I'm here with Ted Coons, the project manager for Renewal by Anderson, to talk about it.
Yeah, one of the big things we hear from homeowners is, I shouldn't need to replace my windows, they're just not that old. But here's the thing, home builders put in high-end kitchens, bathrooms, and low-end windows just aren't that good. So even if your windows are only 7 to 10 years old, they may still need to be replaced.
Ted, there's so many window companies out there. What's different about your company?
Well, besides being a full-service replacement window division of Anderson, we're the company people tend to call when they're particular about their home. They don't want just any old window or any old installer.
So your standards for installers are pretty high, right?
Yeah, Brian, you can have the best window or door in the world, and if it's not installed correctly, it's going to fail. So we don't hire these jack-of-all-trades installers that do gutters and siding on the side. Our window installation teams do our windows year in, year out, and have done thousands of them.
Anytime a homeowner has to deal with multiple home improvement companies, they get stuck in the blame game.
Yeah, with other companies, if there's an issue, the manufacturer blames the installer blames the manufacturer. With us, there's no finger pointing or blaming each other. We're both the installer and the manufacturer.
Ted, is it easy for a homeowner to get a price?
Very easy. We'll come out to your house, we'll assess your current patio door or windows, and then we'll give you an exact price that's good for an entire year.
Ted, that's great information. Thank you.
Before July 31st, buy one window, patio door, or entry door, and get the next one 40% off. That's 40% off with a minimum purchase. For a free appointment with Renewal by Anderson, call 1-800-704-4200.
If you have generalized myasthenia gravis, picture what life could look like with Vyvgart Hytrulo, a subcutaneous injection that takes about 30 to 90 seconds. For one thing, could it mean more time for you? Vyvgart Hytrulo can improve daily abilities and reduce muscle weakness.